All right, Michael, so you just passed today. How did the exam go? What result did you get? How'd you do on the exam, man?
The results was it said above target, and I got across all five different groups. So big relief.
Not
Yeah,
so bad. It's pretty darn good. I mean, like 5 above target, so that's pretty good. Yeah, you were only involved in the accelerator for like 8 days. What about, and you did amazing. Like, so I know it was tough in the exam, but it's not like, oh, I skated by. It's like, dude, you like pegged it on all the areas, which is pretty nice. What about the accelerator kind of took it to the next level for you?
the coaching calls were probably my favorite.
Okay.
Hearing the different ways to, really people thought about questions and seeing like, oh yeah, we're picking up on that word.
Yeah.
Like there's things you can take a quiz and get something wrong and be like, oh yeah, I missed the concept.
Yeah.
But when you have the coaching call and it's like, well, there's that word right there. There's an emphasis up there. That's where I was like, oh, that's what I got to look for. That's what I'm missing.
That's cool.
You can take all the quizzes in the world and you're not going to get that without a coaching call.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And I know that you dove in and you're in like my stuff and the other people's things. And like, you got that perspective and then you were like gutsy enough to like lay it out there for yourself. Just like, you got to talk about like what it's like in a sense to like try to explain in front of people your perspective. Was it easy the first time? Was it, daunting? What was it like?
I don't have really much of an issue with confidence or public speaking. So yeah, I was like, yeah, this is what I think. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. My bosses always love that about me. Like they'll come with some feedback and be like, hey, I'm like, just lay it on me, man. Just tell me. I probably already know it. I probably know where I messed up already.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, man. So I think like, obviously that's, that was the most impactful thing I think you could have done is just kind of like, this is what I think. Somebody help me understand where I have holes or tell me where I'm nailing it. And so if you can come with that perspective, you obviously helps a lot to get those results. That's cool. So like, as you've gone through this whole thing and you like tried the apps, you tried the PMBOK, you did all this thing through there. What's something big you think that normal people or the internet's like saying about the PMP that you think is like wrong or misguided? Is there anything that jumps out at you as far as that goes?
I don't know how many places I read, how many different courses. They said, read the PMBOK guide twice, front to back.
Yeah.
I would have never done it. I would have probably, I never got through one. I read like 3 chapters and I was like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know how people can read that thing twice. I really don't.
Right.
Good for them. Good on them if that's how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
That's torture. And anyone who tells me that they're doing, I'll be like, wait, hold on. Honestly, I will direct them right to your course and be like, check this guy's out. And the way he's doing things, it's a little different and it works better, I think.
All right, cool. So what about like the approach? I mean, unfortunately, I am one of those guys that's read it because I didn't have anything before. And I was just like, I'm stuck with this book and I got to do it. So that's what got us halfway here. What about the way of teaching like resonated with you, like as far as the way we laid out the accelerator content?
Because you taught it like a program, I was able to make a lot of analogies to the processes that when I studied construction management in college or when I did a construction project at my current job, it was easier to make analogies between your process, your flows, your case stories, and my experience.
Oh, okay.
And so I can make a connection and be like, okay, and if the connection wasn't there, I could at least insert it. Because obviously the PMBOK's way more involved than the construction projects. I'm like, oh, well, this is where I could use that process on construction. Okay. And I was able to, put it to real life experience that way, internalize it better.
Yeah. And all right, that makes sense. So like all those connections, all the examples, metaphors, whatever, where you could like relate it to like what you've done. And like you're saying, like if there's holes, like I've never done that before, you could, replace it with something else. So that's cool. As you went into the exam, I know it's and I think it's good to let people know it's like an onslaught of situational questions. So no, like there was nothing like, what is the 7th tool in this, whatever. Was there anything like that?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. And so keep going. Sorry.
I was saying the other thing, the environment is exactly like you talk about. It's silent. It's sterile. Yeah. You go in there with nothing. They gave us a little dry erase marker actually in a laminated piece of paper. So there's not even pencil and notes. So that's even different. You do get a 10-minute break now if you want it halfway through.
That's not so bad.
It's part of it just pops up 10-minute break time. I was like, huh. And I declined it. I just wanted to be done with it.
Damn, dude, you
But,
just powered through. That's cool. That's crazy. Uh, that's cool. So how did you manage yourself? I know that it's like tons of situational, tons of like, it was tough and you were like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. How did you manage yourself to be like, to push through and do as well as you did? How was the actual physical exam? How'd you manage that?
I just kept reminding myself to slow down, take my time. I had my calculations, this many minutes, this many questions on next to my EVM template there.
Cool.
And I just kept reminding myself, yep, I got time. If I had a question I had to read 2 or 3 times, I knew I could.
Yep.
And that was it. Just keep calm. Like you said, it's a marathon. Just keep calm, slow and steady. Take your time. You'll be okay. And I was never, there are some questions pretty quick. So you get that, 10 seconds per question roughly that you feel like you move ahead on the easy ones. And you're like, oh, I got a few extra minutes. Good. I need them right now.
Yeah.
And I typically take tests really fast. Right. Historically, I'm usually the first or second out of the room. This one, no. I mean, I think it was 3 hours and 42 minutes or something it took me total.
Right.
Which for me is unheard of to take that long an exam.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, you did good. And I like the fact you were just slowing down and like, I'll take my minutes when I need them and I'll get through the quick ones when I can, but I'm always going to go methodically. So I think that's the right perspective. So I'm sure there's people out there that are like you, good practical experience, but not like the prototypical PMP like you were talking about. Like, but you want to get it, and maybe the things aren't like resonating with like the traditional PMBOK or whatever app thingies. For people out there like you, what would you say to them as they start to prepare so that they don't end up, hating it or struggling? What would you say?
Don't get discouraged if you don't get it the first time through. You've got to be exposed to the material a couple times with this much material. And honestly, I had forgotten some things. Like I passed your quizzes along the way. And then all of a sudden I took another one to see how I did, and both executing and monitoring and controlling, I was at like 50. I was like, oh my gosh. And that was 4 days ago. Yeah. I was like, what did I do? What did I miss? There was a fundamental break somewhere. I went back, I watched your videos, and I realized there was a category of process that I was putting under monitoring and controlling, and it belonged in executing. So I was getting all those questions backwards. There you go. It was one simple thing. And I was like, all right, go back and do it again. And I went through the videos. Your 2 videos that you had that break down the whole PMBOK. It's a 2-part. It's on days 1 and 2 of your Accelerator. Yeah. I hit those again, and I hit the flows again. Yep. And that got me all straightened out. Nice. I was good to go.
That's good, man. Well, I'm glad you are. So now that you've passed it, you don't have to study anymore. You got this through. What are you going to do now to celebrate? Anything special?
I've been morning and night outside of work studying. Yeah. So my wife, my little girl, they've been, doing without me for the most part. And we plan a little vacation, get away. Nice. Just phones off, and
that's good, dude.
Just put work and everything away, just family time. Because they've sacrificed, I've sacrificed, and get our life back on track. It really was a full-time, engagement to get this exam passed. I was all in. Yeah, that's a good part, man. We know you are. You did a ton of good work, and you put the effort in. And yeah, I'm happy that you guys can take some time, turn the phones off, like you said, and enjoy it. So you deserve it, dude. So really, really appreciate you taking the time to share your experience with us. We're proud of what you did. And, as much as you want to keep getting into the community and going on what's next with, more and more training and stuff, just let us know how we can help you. And we're here for you, man. Appreciate it. You bet. Thanks for the program. I appreciate you.